History is not always written in books. Sometimes, it is struck in gold. Before this was money, it was a sculpture. Before it was practical, it was impossible. This is the American coin that proved beauty could be struck in gold. This coin once represented $20. Today, it represents a dream a nation dared to press into metal. At the dawn of the 20th century, the United States was changing. Industry was expanding. Cities were rising. Confidence filled the air. Yet President Theodore Roosevelt believed something important was missing. America's coins, he felt, did not reflect the spirit of the nation. They served commerce, but not inspiration. He imagined money that looked like ancient masterpieces. Coins that carried dignity, movement, and meaning. Not flat symbols, but miniature works of art. To bring that vision to life, he turned to one of the greatest sculptors of his time. Augustus Saint-Gaudens. What followed would transform American coinage forever. Saint-Gaudens did not design currency. He sculpted ideals. Instead of engraving a simple figure, he created liberty in motion. She strides forward with purpose. A torch rises in one hand. An olive branch rests in the other. Strength and peace balanced in a single gesture. Her robe flows with natural movement. The ground beneath her feet is alive with texture. Behind her, the rising sun sends long rays outward, filling the surface with energy. This was not decoration. This was storytelling in metal. The design rose high above the surface, giving the coin depth rarely seen before. It looked less like currency, and more like a sculpture carefully shaped by hand. But beauty of this magnitude came with consequences. To capture such depth, the design had to be struck under immense pressure, multiple times for each coin. Production slowed dramatically. Each strike demanded precision. Each piece required patience. The mint struggled. Machines built for efficiency now faced art that refused to flatten itself. The result of this struggle is what collectors now call the ultra-high relief double eagle, the design in its purest, most dramatic form. Only a very small number were created before practicality forced change. Later versions would be lowered in relief. Easier to produce. Simpler to circulate. But this version remained untouched by compromise. Look closely at Liberty. She does not stand still. She advances. Her posture conveys momentum, not symbolism alone. The torch she raises does not simply represent light. It feels like illumination breaking forward into a new era. The sun behind her does not sit quietly. Its rays stretch across the surface like expanding possibility. When light moves across this coin, shadows form naturally within the relief. The design breathes. It shifts with every angle. This is why viewers often forget they are looking at money. They are witnessing movement preserved in gold. Turn the coin, and the narrative continues. An eagle glides across the sky with wings fully extended. It does not appear perched or symbolic alone. It travels forward with intention. Below, the sun rises in long radiant beams, mirroring the energy seen on the obverse. There is harmony between both sides. Liberty moves forward on land. The eagle moves forward through the sky. Together, they express progress without words. Even the edge carries design. The inscription is pressed into the metal rather than raised. A quiet detail that reflects careful thought in every dimension. Because of the difficulty in production, only a very limited number of ultra-high relief pieces were struck. They were never meant for everyday exchange. They existed as proof of concept, evidence that American coinage could achieve artistic greatness. As years passed, these coins became legends among collectors. Not merely for rarity, but for intention. Each surviving piece carries a story of preservation. Of admiration. Of careful passage through time. This is not a coin that survived by chance. It survived because people recognized its significance. Originally worth $20, the coin's meaning has long surpassed its face value. Its worth today is not simply measured in gold. It is measured in artistry, ambition, and historical importance. It represents a moment when a nation chose beauty, even when beauty was difficult. It reminds us that currency can be more than a tool of trade. It can be a reflection of ideals. The ultra-high relief double eagle stands as proof that vision, when pressed into metal, can endure far beyond its time. This coin is not just a relic of the past. It is a preserved intention. It shows what happens when practicality pauses, and creativity leads. In a world built on function, this small disc of gold carries a larger message. That even ordinary objects can hold extraordinary purpose. And more than a century later, the sculpture remains. The vision remains. The story remains. Because when ambition meets craftsmanship, history is not only remembered. It is struck, forever.